The blizzard of 2026 is burying the Northeast, and 5 more snowstorms are lined up behind it. It is Monday, February 23, 2026, and Winter Storm Hernando, the blizzard of 2026, is delivering a historic blow to the Northeast right now. But here is what went under the radar while we were all focused on this blizzard. The models have shifted the pattern for late February into early March, and it went almost unnoticed. We are now looking at 4 to 6 additional snowfall threats for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast over the next 2 weeks. The pattern is dominated by Arctic air with a massive trough extending from Alaska down into eastern Canada. Every 24 to 48 hours, another clipper system rolls through. One of them threatens to become a Miller B nor'easter later this week. That is when a clipper system dives south and phases with a new low developing along the coast, rolling up the east coast for potentially another 4 to 8 inches on top of whatever falls from this blizzard. And it does not stop there. An interior system follows that one. Then another Mid-Atlantic and Northeast snowstorm, then another threat further south. The European model is showing 5 to 6 distinct snowfall events over this one model run. If we get anything close to this, it will be a crazy end to winter and beginning of spring 2026. This is not a one-and-done event. This is the opening act of a relentless late winter siege. But first, the blizzard that is happening right now. Over 29 million Americans are under blizzard warnings. New York City banned all non-essential travel at 9 p.m. last night, the first blizzard warning for the city since 2017. The Long Island Railroad is suspended. NJ Transit is shut down. Travel bans on commercial vehicles cover Interstate 84 and the New York State Thruway. Thousands of flights are grounded. States of emergency in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Philadelphia. Every model we track has converged on a historic snowfall event with the bullseye centered on eastern Long Island through Connecticut, Rhode Island, and southern Massachusetts, where the national blend of models is painting upwards of 30 inches. The bomb cyclone reached approximately 966 to 970 millibars, a nearly 40 millibar pressure drop, with hurricane-force wind gusts pushing onshore. By the way, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them individually as time allows. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you'd be very grateful. Now, let's move on. The storm right now. The peak of the storm for southern New England is happening this morning. The heaviest snowfall arrives between 7 a.m. and noon today. Snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour have been ongoing overnight from New Jersey through New York City, with rates potentially exceeding 2 to 3 inches per hour in the heaviest bands. Thundersnow has been reported. Along the coast, wind gusts of 60 to 70 mph are battering southern New England, with Cape Cod potentially pushing 80 mph. Blizzard conditions, sustained winds over 35 mph with visibility below a quarter mile for 3 or more hours, are occurring from the Jersey Shore through Long Island, NYC, coastal Connecticut, Rhode Island, and eastern Massachusetts. Inland gusts are reaching 40 to 60 mph, even well away from the coast. One of the challenges with this storm has been the ground conditions. Temperatures near freezing and saturated ground meant the initial precipitation started as rain for many locations along the coast. But dynamic cooling as the low rapidly intensified forced the rain snow line south through Virginia and even toward parts of the Outer Banks overnight. Once the changeover happened, the snowfall became extreme. The combination of heavy wet snow and hurricane-force winds is creating drifts of several feet while leaving some areas nearly barren. Measuring official snow totals will be difficult because the wind redistributes everything. You will see bare patches next to 4-foot drifts in the same neighborhood. The Mid-Atlantic from D.C. through Philadelphia saw the brunt of the storm Sunday night and is winding down. The rain won the precipitation war in the D.C.-Richmond corridor as expected, but New Jersey through the I-95 corridor into southern New England remains in the thick of it this morning. Snow continues through the afternoon, finally ending in eastern Massachusetts and southern Maine between late Monday evening and early Tuesday morning, where the models agreed and where the snow is heaviest. The model consensus on this storm became remarkable. 6 different models all pointed to the same bullseye: eastern Long Island through Connecticut, Rhode Island, and southern Massachusetts. The European model put the pastels, indicating 2 feet or more, right over that corridor. The GFS pushed the heaviest totals slightly further south towards southeastern New Jersey and Delaware, but still showed major snow through the entire corridor. The NAM 3-calendar aligned with the bullseye. The national blend showed 30-plus inches for Rhode Island and southern Massachusetts. The NWS showed 24 to 26 inches for central coastal New Jersey through Long Island. The high-resolution SRF ensemble confirmed the same corridor. All of them were remarkably similar. The best model agreement of the entire event. Boston and Greater Boston, 18 to 24 inches with pockets approaching 30. New York City, 12 to 18 inches across the 5 boroughs with higher totals south and east exceeding 20. Philadelphia, 18 to 24 inches per Fox weather. Eastern New Jersey and the Jersey Shore, 2 feet. Long Island, 18 to 24 inches. Hartford and Providence, 14 to 18 inches. Rhode Island and southern Massachusetts, the bullseye, 24 to 30 inches. Cape Cod, 10 to 15 inches, but with the most extreme winds. DC, 3 to 6 inches. The one area of uncertainty was further inland west of the coastal corridor. Some models showed only 2 to 6 inches there, while others showed much more. The coastal corridor itself was a sure thing for massive totals. Wind and power outages. This storm acted like a hurricane. The NWS wind gust map showed 40 to 60 mph across the Delmarva, New Jersey, and southern New England, even far inland. Along the main coast, 50 mph or higher. Near New England, 60 to 70 mph. Cape Cod pushing 80. These are insane winds for a snowstorm. Heavy wet snow plus hurricane-force gusts means widespread power outages and tree damage. NWS Boston specifically warned about areas southeast of the Boston-Providence corridor as potentially historic and destructive with the worst conditions Monday 4 a.m. through noon. Coastal flood warnings stretch from Delaware to Maine with 2 to 3 feet of inundation along the South Shore and Cape Cod. City-by-city predictions. What comes next? Northeast, New York City, Boston, Philadelphia, D.C., Hartford, Providence, Portland, M.E., Buffalo. The storm winds down this afternoon from south to north. Shoveling may need to wait until Tuesday in the windiest areas. Then the pattern becomes relentless. Clipper number 1 arrives Tuesday evening into Wednesday, adding shovelable snow. Clipper number 2 later this week threatens to phase into a Miller B nor'easter, another 4 to 8 inches for southern New England. Then another clipper. Then an interior system targeting the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and Northeast with heavy snow. Then another mid-Atlantic and Northeast snowstorm midweek next week. The models are showing 5 or 6 snowfall events over the next 2 weeks for these same areas. The massive snowpack from this blizzard acts like a refrigerator, keeping ground temperatures colder and pushing snow lines further south for follow-up systems. Southeast, Atlanta, Charlotte, Nashville, Raleigh, Birmingham, Jacksonville, New Orleans. The Arctic blast arrives behind the blizzard. Freezing temperatures hit Jacksonville and Mobile Tuesday morning. All of Alabama in the 20s. Nashville drops to 20 degrees. The Southeast Ridge puts up a brief fight midweek, but loses. Another Arctic blast targets the first days of March. Severe weather threats increase further south as the pattern transitions. Midwest and Great Lakes. Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Columbus, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Louisville. Lake effect snow continues on the backside of the blizzard. Clipper systems will roll through every 24 to 48 hours, keeping the northwest flow pattern active. Heavy snow for the Great Lakes and upper Midwest. The interior system later this week brings heavy accumulation to Ohio and the Great Lakes. Chicago 23 degrees, St. Louis 25, Toronto and Buffalo 5 to 10 degrees. Arctic air dominates. West Coast and Mountain West. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Portland, Sacramento, San Diego, Phoenix, Salt Lake City, Boise, Flagstaff, Denver, Albuquerque. Ridge builds over the southwest, bringing baking warmth later this week. SoCal, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah warm up. Cascades and Northern Rockies continue to see snow. The ski resorts from Idaho through Montana, Wyoming, and northern Colorado stay active through early March. Sierra gets a relative break. Plains and South Central. Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Omaha, Denver, San Antonio, Little Rock, Memphis. Record-breaking warmth surges into Texas. 60s today to 80s Tuesday near Amarillo, to 90s Wednesday in San Antonio and Austin. Then another Arctic blast crashes south, March 3rd through 3. The pattern is a roller coaster, violent swings between record warmth and Arctic cold. The big picture, late February into March. What nobody is talking about is how loaded the next 2 weeks are. The European model shows 5 or 6 distinct snowfall events for the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. One clipper after another rolling through, with at least 1 or 2 threatening to phase into more significant coastal storms. The pattern is dominated by Arctic air with only brief interruptions from the southeast ridge. Both models continue showing early March colder. A bigger Arctic blast targeting March 1st through 3 could crash all the way to the Gulf Coast. A potential snow or ice system around March 3rd has had unusual consistency between models. The ENSO transition from La Nina to neutral is consolidating the subtropical jet and pumping Gulf moisture northward. Severe weather outbreaks and tornado threats will increase across the Mississippi and Ohio valleys as March progresses. Winter is not done. This blizzard was historic, but it may just be the beginning of a relentless stretch that carries winter well into March. The roller coaster between record warmth in the south and Arctic blasts in the north and east continues with no sign of stopping. If you are in the Northeast, stay home today. Let the plows work. They cannot keep up with 2 to 3 inch per hour rates. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly. Take breaks shoveling. Heavy wet snow is extremely dangerous for your heart and is one of the leading causes of heart attacks during winter storms. Have flashlights and generators ready in case of power outages that could last days. This is the blizzard of 2026, and it will be remembered for decades. Stay safe out there.